As the administrative capital of the Republic of South Africa, Pretoria often makes headlines in the newspapers of the world. It is a serene and placid city where people go peacefully about their daily tasks. It is a bustling, but not a hustling city. In the many cool and quiet arcades, the noise of the traffic is muted so that shoppers can shop in a restful atmosphere. Farmers from the bushveld especially appreciate the peace and quiet of the arcades. Church Square of today contrasts dramatically with Church Square of 100 years ago, because then Pretoria was only a small church to which the pioneer farmers trekked to observe Holy Communion. Around the church, a small village began to grow on the wide, high plain, and within a few years it became the capital of the young South African Republic. So they built a House of Parliament. By 1876, the school had 55 pupils and 1 teacher. Beards, moustaches, and bow ties flourished in the cricket club. And there was a cycling club, which daringly accepted lady members. The soccer club sported natty knickerbockers and psychedelic striped jerseys. The heart of the community was still the church. And in 1885, they built a new and larger place of worship on Church Square. But Pretoria was still a pioneer town, and the streets were muddy. The ox wagon and the stagecoach were the most important means of transport until the horse-drawn tram and the motor car appeared on the scene in the 1890s. Wealth pouring from the world's richest gold mines, only 30 miles away, and although there were still ox wagons in the streets, they had a proud fire brigade and several impressive buildings. In 1907, the inauguration of the Transvaal Parliament was celebrated with some pomp and ceremony, and Pretoria was beginning to look like a city. A motley variety of vehicles bustled around Church Square. Today's Pretoria is largely a city of civil servants who live in a world which the layman only knows as a world of tea and red tape, of intercoms and filing cabinets, a world that runs by the Public Works Department clock. But it takes a lot of work to administer a country. Years ago, most of the city's civil servants fitted quite neatly into the union buildings. But then they started spilling over into other buildings all over Pretoria as government became more complex and involved. Apart from the several governmental departments, there are dozens of non-statutory bodies such as the Wool Board, the Meat Board, the Dairy Board, the Egg Board, the Banana Board, the Citrus Board, the Maize Board, not to mention the Tobacco Board, the Wheat Board, the Bean Board, and the Dried Bean Board.